what they are saying in these INDCs with the Sustainable Development Goals, especially with SDG number 15.2, because in the UN in September it was agreed to halt deforestation by the year 2020. So all 195 countries agree in the UN in September to halt deforestation by 2020. So the question that we want to answer here is, in their current INDCs, are they really going to halt deforestation by the year 2020 or not? So that is one of the key issues that we want to discuss here. And the second key issue is we have a very, I would say, strong campaign when it comes to fossil fuels, leave them under the ground, and this is key. Around 66% of greenhouse gas emissions come from burning of fossil fuels. But when it comes to forests, around 23% of greenhouse gas emissions in the world come from deforestation. So the second big source of greenhouse gas emissions is deforestation. And we cannot address the issue of climate change by only focusing on fossil fuels. We need to address the issue of deforestation. It's the key issue that is very much linked, as we will see, to agricultural production, but this is a main issue. So, what can we do together after this COP in order to strengthen the different campaigns that are all around the world in order to stop deforestation, to stop extractive industries in national parks, in indigenous territories, and so on. So this is the second topic of this panel. And of course, the third one, that we will do some comments about it, is what is in relation to forests in the current text that is coming out in the so-called Paris Agreement. Because we already have concrete language in relation to forests in the Paris Agreement. So we will also have some comments and interventions in relation to this. So this is the main goal of this event. I would say these are the three main goals. And with this, we will go directly to the point. So the first case, Bolivia. What is Bolivia saying? So Bolivia has presented an INDC a little bit late, the 12th of October. And the INDC of Bolivia says zero deforestation. So we were very happy by 2020. But then it adds one word, zero illegal deforestation by 2020. So the contribution of Bolivia is to halt illegal deforestation in 5 years. But legal deforestation will continue. Now, if you read the INDC of Bolivia, it's a little bit difficult. But we did the study, we did the mathematics, and what is really the proposal of Bolivia? With 100% of certainty. And I was part of the government, so I'm really shy to say that my government says one thing and does another thing. But that is the truth. So the proposal of Bolivia is to have a deforestation of 3 million hectares of forests until the year 2030. So until 2030, Bolivia is going to deforest 3 million hectares of forest. Actually, we deforest every year around 160 60,000 hectares of forests. And the proposal is we're going to deforest 3 million. To make it a little bit more clear, because many say, oh, well, 160,000 hectares of forest, what does it mean? It means a lot when it comes to carbon dioxide. So Bolivia's emission, because of deforestation, is 90 million tons of CO2. 90. To put this in context, the biggest coal-fired plant here in Europe is in Belchatow, in Poland. And this coal-fired plant, that is the biggest in Europe, has emissions per year of 37 million tons of CO2. So the deforestation, in the case of Bolivia, is more than twice the emissions of the biggest coal-fired plant in Europe. And what we are saying when we say 3 million hectares until 2030 is that this will continue and it can even increase. So, for us, this is a key element. Our campaign is Bolivia should have legal and illegal deforestation by 2020. Now, Bolivia has put another proposal on the table when it comes to forests in its INDC. It says, okay, we are going to deforest 3 million hectares, but don't worry, because at the end we are going to have more forests, because we are going to reforest 4.5 million hectares of forest. So, we now have 52.5 million hectares of forest. By the year 2030, we're going to have 54. So, happy ending. We are going to deforest 3, and we are going to reforest 4.5. But in reality, this is not going to happen. Why this is not going to happen? Because when they speak about reforestation, and this reforestation is going to be about plantations, not real forests with the biodiversity, with all the life that is in the forest, they're speaking about plantations, but even plantations have a cost. So we did the mathematics, and how much does it cost 1 hectare of trees in a plantation of trees? So it costs one small tree costs to plant, and the tree itself $1. And in 1 hectare you have around 1,000 trees. So per hectare that the government is planning to reforest, he has to invest $1,000. So to reforest 4.5 million hectares of forest, that means the government is planning to spend $4,500 million. That is almost 2/3 of the external debt of Bolivia. So that amount of money for the economy of Bolivia will never happen. It's an investment that is huge and will never be accomplished, so that in reality what we will have by the year 2030, we're going to have a deforestation of 3 million hectares, and probably 10,000, 20,000, or maybe in the best scenario, 100,000 hectares will be reforested, and we have to say it with plantations, not with forests. So this is the real situation when you look at the INDC of Bolivia that has been presented here in COP21. Final conclusion. It's cheaper to not deforest than to plan to deforest and then reforest with plantations. Because who's going to benefit from this deforestation of 3 million hectares? It's going to be mainly the big agribusiness. The agribusiness that in Bolivia exports soybeans. and we export 98% of soybean that is GMO. And one more thing that you must know is that the owners of those soybean business in Bolivia are mainly Brazilians and Mennonites and other foreigners. So Bolivians are around 30%. 70% are from foreign investors inside the country. So we're going to deforest, not to secure food for Bolivian people, not at all, that's not true. It's going to be mainly to promote more agro exports from these foreign investors in our country. And our main argument is, well, in Bolivia we have had already a deforestation of around 14% of our forests. And there are many studies that show that if we continue deforesting, at some point there is a tipping point where the forest will begin to gradually die. And we are approaching that point in many places inside the country. In the US and Europe, you have a term that's called dieback. It means forests don't need to be cut all the trees. At a certain point of 20-25% of deforestation, forests begin to have a dieback, a natural, gradual, slow death. So, for us, the issue of the struggle against climate change in Bolivia is the struggle to stop deforestation. We want to speak about climate change in Bolivia, we have to stop deforestation. We want to preserve the rights of Mother Earth, we have to stop deforestation. Otherwise, everything is blah blah. Thank you very much.
The commitments related to reduce the greenhouse gas emission on 37% for the level of 2005, and they make like a referential, other not a commitment but more of a referential number related to around 43% until 2030. But Brazil already have a law since 2009 that established a national policy of climate change, when the